Always seem to go down to the wire, don't they?
I'll tell you one thing, some great games in the Big East. Why do we rehearse our openings? Why do we put so much time in, Mike? We never get a chance to get any AT, airtime.
Bowman and Kendall Gill. Gill, number 13, are the guards. Really, they run a three-guard offense with Bardo, 35. Kendall Gill with his first two.
He's been sensational in his last 6 games. He's playing awesome basketball, averaging better than 24 points a game. And Mike, if I had to pick right now the best second guard in America, I'd have to go with Mr. Kendall Gill.
Already the 9th all-time leading scorer in Illinois history.
He can guard people, he rebounds, he has so many parts to his game.
Jackson, Gill comes out on him. Jackson with a penetrating move and the miss. Carter tried to get the rebound over the back. Liberty gets it out to Gill on the run, 2-on-2. Kicks it back outside. Bowman for 3.
Bowman's a long-range shooter. He was inserted in the lineup. He replaced Kaufman in their starting lineup.
Hitting 40% from long range. Chris Jent.
There's the full court trapping pressure. Jent struggling all year shooting the ball. There's the steal.
Baker got it off to Jackson.
I'd get a timeout and set up against that pressure if I were Lou Henson.
6-2. Gill back the other way. Carter, the only one back, and a foul.
Tom Rucker with the call. Kendall Gill likes to always utilize his left hand on a jam. As we look at Lou Henson, certainly facing a lot of pressure in a bigger game than this game right here, facing the NCAA with that letter of inquiry listing all the allegations against Illinois.
They got some good news this week, though. The young man, Deon Thomas, took a lie detector test and passed with flying colors. So that gives Illinois some hope in that investigation.
Well, talking to a lot of the media that are gathered here today, as Gill misses the free throw, they certainly said that it was a jubilant situation in Illinois. That's about the only positive news they've had recently, that Deon Thomas just clearly passed that lie detector test.
An unusual miss for Gill. He's hit one streak of 27 straight this year, shooting 88% in his last 6.
You know, when you talk about the big guards in America, guys that can play that big guard position, Oliver's certainly outstanding down at Georgia Tech, and certainly Kimball is scoring the ways, but this guy is so complete.
Heard a couple of people say he will be a lottery pick, Dick.
Oh, I think so. The NBA people love his game.
Nice move out there by Jamal Brown.
He's been doing a good job since they moved Brown to the second guard slot. There's that full court trap. Get the ball in the middle. I think you got to try to finalize against the pressure defense. Try to score against him, not just get the ball down the court.
Liberty, who has been up and down this year with an air ball. Offensive rebound to Kendall Gill.
Now
there's a guard who can go inside and kill you.
Now, is he multi-talented? And what a beautiful young man. Didn't come out of high school heavily recruited like the McDonald's High School All-American kids. But what a sensational player he's been at Illinois.
It's 8-5, and Kendall Gill has all 5 of those points. Mark Baker gets the roll, and it's 10-5. And this looks like an Ohio State team that wants to make sure they win their last 4.
I'll tell you, they're playing with a lot of emotion and a lot of intensity. They have ranked right now the 4th toughest schedule in America.
Offensive foul on Irvin Small.
Small rotates over, charges. Small's an aggressive player, good rebounder, active player inside, but if there's one negative, and we've talked about it all year, that baseline is really empty in terms of scoring for Illinois.
He only averages 7 points a game.
Mike, what could have been, would have been unbelievable. This is the could have been and would have been team if Nick Anderson stayed in school and didn't go to the NBA and Deon Thomas was eligible.
Talking about just a little additional talent there, aren't you?
Hey,
Gill tried to block it from behind, but Chris Jent, who only averages 6.8 points a game, already has 6 in the first 3.5 minutes.
Very active. Look at the steal.
Baker. Ohio State is on fire.
He better get a TO, baby. Lou Henson needs a TO. Lou do get a TO.
Lou Henson really upset with his club as they've been blitzed by Ohio State to the tune of 14-5.
We take a look right now at Ohio State and their pressure defense. Watch the anticipation by Baker as he steps in. He anticipates the pass by Gill, reads it perfectly, and then he completes the play. Takes it to the goal, one hand, little hot dog, get the mustard out on Mr. Baker.
That is already the 3rd turnover for Illinois. In their first meeting with Ohio State, in the entire game, they committed only 7.
There's 3 things you want to do against that pressure. You want a reverse man, a diagonal man, and a post man.
Knocked out of bounds that time. Last touch by Perry Carter. The ball will go to Illinois.
Perry Carter's a dominant rebounder. He's been a little bit slumped lately, but he's a force inside in that lane. 40% for Illinois, 7 for 9 for Ohio State. Gents really played well out of the gate.
Chris Gent, who's been shooting 35.1% from the floor this year, has hit 3 out of 4 shots. This is Andy Petty. They spell it K-P-E-D-I, pronounce it Petty, a native of Nigeria who came over from Kankakee Community College. He's in for the first time.
He's been battling injuries all year long. Played well against Temple. I had him earlier in the season, Mike. He has a lot of athletic ability, can block shots, inexperience in terms of the game of basketball.
Bardo, Gill, and Bowman in the 3-guard offense. Jackson really pressuring Bardo. Offensive foul on Bardo. Pushed him off with his 3-arm.
I love the technique defensively of Jimmy Jackson. He has the perfect balance, the perfect defensive stance. As we look at Lou Henson, who's had a tremendous record in the 1980s in the Big Ten defensively. They've been the #1 team statistically, defensively in the Big Ten.
Illinois will go to a press.
They played so well to beat Purdue in their last game, 90-78. Gill had an outstanding game. That was after Purdue was brilliant in blowing out the Hoosiers. They might have been emotionally drained going down to Champaign.
Jackson tries the real hard pass to Perry Carter, couldn't grab it.
Jimmy Jackson's a very unselfish player. As we look at Randy Ayers, an amazing story. First year as a head coach. He's really regrouped this team. They struggled out of the gate.
Bowman pushes it up. Good double team. Jackson dropped to help out. Gill not getting the roll, and Carter with a rebound.
Carter, outstanding Windex man, one of the best rebounders in the Big Ten.
Averages 7.5 a game. Brown for 3. Air ball. Almost saved, but knocked out of bounds out to Illinois.
Ohio State doesn't have a senior in their lineup. They're certainly going to be one of the teams predicted to be up on top of the Big Ten next year preseason. See, there's the reverse man I was talking about. After the trap by Gent, have one guy trail, good adjustment by Lou Henson. They reverse the ball back to the guy that inbounds the basketball.
Ohio State starting lineup, 2 freshmen, 2 sophomores, and a junior. Bardo looking to Petty, gets a screen from him, and then the pick and roll doesn't work.
Bardo left his feet. That's a no-no on a pass.
Jackson running the 3-on-2 fast break. It results in a foul.
Jackson's a scintillator as terms of passing the basketball. He is so unselfish with the ball, Mike, always looking for the open man.
Foul on Bardo, his second, and that's Andy Kaufman who comes in.
Watch Steve Bardo come off the screen, and there he is up in the air. See, once he's up in the air, he has problems. You can't leave your feet. You're not really, I tell you, Lute Olson does a great job at Arizona teaching that. Be on the floor and make the pass. Leave your feet, you're there to shoot the ball.
Bardo made sure on that foul.
Bardo's a member of my All-Rambo team. Dominant defensive player.
Baker hits the free throw. It's 15-5 Ohio State. Baker has 5 points.
I remember last year Gary Williams really raving about Baker and his quickness. Came out of Dunbar High School in Dayton, Ohio. Gary really created the atmosphere that exists here. It's really an emotional place.
Yes, it is.
The students really get into the game.
Here comes Kaufman on the run. Got caught up in the air. Kendall Gill banks it home.
What athletic ability. I love watching him play, Mike. He's one of those special players that you sit at courtside and you're amazed at his talent.
He still has all of Illinois' points. It's 15-7. Perry Carter forced it.
What a tip.
Hit by Mark Baker.
Baker steps in. No one blocks out. Uses the left hand. See, there's the other area breaking the pressure. Get the ball to the middle.
Jamal Brown went for the steal, knocked it out of bounds. About Baker, since he regained his spot in the starting lineup, he's averaging 12.5 points a game and really running the club.
Now watch right here. Carter misses. Now here comes the little guy. Steps right in with the left hand. There's the little tip. Good control, fingertips. When you tip, you want to use your fingertips.
So Ohio State 17, Kendall Gill 7. Here comes Baker on the run.
Oh, what a great pass.
Carter had it blocked by Liberty.
Well, was that a great look by Jackson?
Sure was.
I can feel electricity here, can't you? It's
They're
really
pumped.
exciting. They are pumped up. It's a 4-game season. They have to win 3 out of 4 to get themselves a bid to the NCAA.
Petty had the rebound off Liberty's miss, couldn't handle it.
Look at that pass.
Nice pass to
Look at that pass. Are you serious? That's a diaper dandy, baby. And they love him here in Buckeye land. Jim Jackson.
Jackson, the 2-time player of the state of Ohio. Putting on a show, and a turnover will give the ball back to them. Or that turnover gave it to them, rather. Treg Lee comes in for the first time. He's number 34. Mark Baker will get a breather. Well, the pressure has made a difference here, Dick.
Oh, yeah, they're pressure defensively. They're playing with a lot of intensity. Really giving up the ball for a high percentage shot.
Kaufman with a long jump shot. The tip by Gill, and I think Kendall Gill will be called for the foul. He is. You can't blame Kendall Gill for crashing the boards. After all, he's the only one that scored for Illinois.
He really is. Very active trying to make things happen. There's a look at Lou Henson. He's got better than 500 wins in his career. Went to the Final Four when he was at New Mexico State, where they're revitalized now under Neil McCarthy, having a great year in the Big West Conference.
Henson, the 4th winningest active coach in college basketball.
One thing that Neil McCarthy's doing, he's doing it with all Chicago kids.
Good place to start. Treg Lee with a tough runner and an awful looking shot.
It's Treg's birthday right now. I want to sing happy birthday to Treg. Happy birthday. He asked me if I would say happy birthday to him.
Well, I'm asking you not to sing. And I'm sure he'd rather have a different shot than that one.
See, there's the second option, the post guy.
Kaufman to Gill. The tip is good, and finally somebody gets on the board. Rodney Jones, the first player other than Kendall Gill to score for Illinois in 7.5 minutes.
They did an excellent job attacking the pressure there by posting a guy to the middle of the floor. The secondary phase of breaking the pressure.
Brown, who likes to drive, got the basket. It is an offensive foul. Let's see if the bucket counts. No basket.
Ohio State very active. Every one of their players seems to really be playing at an active pace. Randy was drafted in 1978 by the Chicago Bulls. They had Bob Love, Mickey Johnson, Tom Bowinkle, and then he was cut by Larry Costello, and he said after 18 years, basketball was taken away.
Marcus Liberty, crowd wanted to travel, didn't get it. Gill, now he walked. 19-9, Ohio State with 12:19 to go. First half of play from Columbus.
Look at Lou working on Mr. Valentine. Look at.
There are the turnovers. Illinois in the first 7.5 minutes has committed as many turnovers tonight as it did in the entire game at home against Ohio State.
That's because of that relentless, tenacious pressure defense. Oh, nice spacing.
Carter walked.
Yeah, he walked, lifted his pivot foot.
Nice feed by Gentle. Oh, they got a foul before the walk. They got lucky on that one.
Yeah, they missed it though, Mike. He definitely walked. The walk should have taken. The walk was prior to the foul.
Andy Kaufman will pick up the foul.
Now you take a look right here. The ball's entered to the post. Now there's the walk, and then there's the foul. He definitely lifted his pivot foot.
Oh, yeah. Carter only a 64% free throw shooter. First Illinois game, he was dominant, even though they lost. 25 points and 16 rebounds. What a night for Perry Carter. And Dick, when he gets off to a good start early, he is usually very difficult to touch all night long.
He gets to roll his way. Those are very impressive numbers. These rims here are, believe me, are a shooter's delight. They really belong to the shooter. They're very, very soft.
All of Ohio State starters have scored. Another good steal by Mark Baker. Ahead to Jackson and tipped away. Good saving defense by Liberty.
Trying to make the spectacular play rather than a routine play.
Timeout on the court. 21-9 Ohio State. $11 minutes, 50 seconds to go in the first half. There's our score. Ohio State 21-9 over Illinois. Mike Patrick and Dick Vitale. Nice to have you with us. Big Monday Part 2. Dick, the last 4 games in Ohio State's schedule, that's going to determine whether they go to the NCAA or not.
Oh, I really believe that. I think if they can win 3 of these 4, they will go to the NCAA tournament. They go away at Indiana. Northwestern will not be easy. Believe me, they'll have to lace them up, and then they have Minnesota at home. But if they win 3 out of 4, their schedule is ranked 4th toughest in America, and in the Sagarin Power Ratings, they're ranked in the top 30 in the nation. So I think they're in great shape if they can win 3 out of 4.
26 this week in those power ratings, and then obviously puts you in the top 64. Jen, who has had a good shooting night, missed, and it's knocked out of bounds out to Illinois. And Lou Hansen has just been hit with a technical foul.
A lot of frustration by Lou Hansen, showing his players that he has not forgotten the season and is wrapped up just with that NCAA probe, that he's really involved here.
He wanted an over-the-back foul on that last rebound attempt. And we're told one of the assistants actually picked up the foul at bench technical, not on Lou Henson.
And that's one of the real premier officials in the Big Ten, Tom Rucker, trying to settle him down.
Jim Jackson hits the free throw. Jackson working on a freshman record for scoring. Herb Williams set it in 1978, almost sure to pass that. He has 4 tonight.
That's when Ohio State had the big 3. You talk about Herb Williams, you talk about Clark Kellogg, and then they had the outstanding little guard, Mr. Ramsey.
2 free throws in the ball. Ohio State up by 14, bidding for more. Nice feed by Gent. Perry Carter, travel.
Perry's lifting that little pivot foot. Played a Maine Central prep after he started his career at Gonzaga High School out in Washington, D.C. See, here's the reverse man. But I'll tell you what he's doing. He's getting 1 step in front of the ball. He should be 1 step behind the ball to make it easier to reverse him the ball.
Jackson giving Bardo a lot of problems. May have gotten a piece of that one. Rebounded Carter. Jackson is a complete player.
Complete. The only area he has to really improve on his perimeter ability in shooting the basketball, which will open up his drive to the goal. See, right now, if I were guarding him, I'd play a step off and let him shoot the perimeter shot.
Tries to feed to Carter, back to Jackson, and now to Gent.
The thing I like about him, Mike, he's so unselfish. And what a beautiful young man. If you talk to him, he's so bright. Just a classy all-around youngster.
Kaufman on a man-to-man now. Shot clock down to 10 seconds. Craig Lee got a foul underneath away from the ball, and it's going to be against Ohio State, pointing at Perry Carter.
Carter with the foul. Craig Lee has really been an enigma. Came out of high school so heavily acclaimed, was a Proposition 48, and has never really found himself. They say he shows semblance of greatness at practice, but during a game, he just has not been the player they've anticipated.
2 on Perry Carter. The pressure almost forced another turnover, knocked out of bounds, but out to Illinois.
There's Randy, one of 8 children. He said, I deserve, and he said, I earn, rather, all of my instincts from my mama. He gave credit to his mom. He said, we had a lot of love at home. She raised 8 of us, and they all graduated college. Congratulations, Mrs. Betty Ayers.
Now there's a big assignment. Kendall Gill, with 3 out of 5 field goals, only 1 out of 8 for the rest of the Illinois team. Bardo, off-balance jumper, and got it.
That's the versatility that Bardo and Gill possess as guards. They can go to the wing, they can post up, and use their great size.
23.
Oh, what a shot. Gent took a shot to the face. I think it was an accident. I don't believe it was deliberate by Bardo. He went over and shook his hand.
They called the foul on Gent. He was the one who came flying out of the pile after getting a forearm in the face.
Wow, he looked like he got one from Buster Douglas. Now watch this. There it is. I don't know how
you call it on Gent. I mean, it was almost a technical knockout. There's Marcus Liberty.
Liberty with that good baseline shot. Liberty's a explosive kind of player. He goes in spurts. He also disappears at times on the floor.
Nice catch by Carter and a nice touch to put it in.
Good hands right there. See, now they got to reverse the ball to Bardo. That's what you have to do. And then throw the diagonal.
Liberty. Boy, did you see Mark Baker at 6'1" get up there.
Well, he's got great quickness, too. He rotated back defensively after the initial wave was beaten. Now watch it right here. There goes Liberty to the goal. There's the contact on his body. Comes out of King High School. Many thought he was the #1 high school player in the United States. Some said Dennis Scott, but I'll tell you what, you can't go wrong with those two.
No. Been very pleased with Liberty's rebounding this year, averaging 7 rebounds a game.
And he's really a wing player. I think the best, as he misses the free throw, the best trio in the nation, maybe in the last 10 years, is the combination at Georgia Tech.
Unreal.
It's unbelievable. I call them Kremen's Cannons, baby, when you're talking Anderson, Oliver, and Scott.
It is quite a show just to watch them come on the court. 25-14, Illinois creeping back into it. 9:20 to go.
They change defensively. They make an adjustment. They go to the 2-3 zone, come out of the man-to-man.
Lee to Jackson.
Jackson's such an excellent pass.
Nice pass, and Phil Robinson gets the hoop.
That was created off the triangle. There's the steal by Baker. Backcourt. That's a backcourt violation. Good call by Tom Rucker. He was over and back, Mike. What a pass by Gento in that previous possession.
Wasn't it ever?
He drilled it in off a triangle, and they had 3 against 2 and overloaded against the zone. Look at the technique defensively of Jackson now. I love his technique, his balance.
Gill. Baseline jumper won't go, but the foul is going to be called on Treg Lee, his first. Lee out of Cleveland, Ohio, 6'8", 220.
Played at St. Joe's High School, the same high school that produced the famed Clark Kellogg, one of our own.
Had a chance to work with Clark earlier this year. Kendall Gill at the line, misses again. Very unusual to see Gill miss once a night, let alone twice in his first 3 tries.
He's got those long, long arms.
Illinois as a team has hit only 2 out of 5, now make it 3 out of 6. 27-15, and Baker will set the offense. Gill has 8 of the 15 points. Remember, he had the first 7 for Illinois.
Illinois rotates out of the zone into the man-to-man. Some excellent passes to the
High
box.
speed. Jackson misses the shot, but he's fouled. Boy, they have made some great passes.
I really believe that Jackson, Mike, should post up a lot more. He has usually some wing people checking him or perimeter people, and he's so strong physically that I think if he took advantage of his post-up ability, he'd be a much more effective player.
Call it a non-shooting foul, the second foul on Kaufman.
Gents had a real big first half.
Something they can really use. If he or Treg Lee contribute, they're that much tougher. Team foul situation, neither club in the bonus. Moving screen called on Jet. Called on Robinson.
Whenever you set a screen, you must be stationary. You cannot move in planning that screen. There's a look at Randy Ayers, one of 8 children, played at Miami of Ohio, was the player of the year in high school as a player in Ohio, and I'll tell you, what a class act. Everybody is rooting for him. He's one of those guys you can't help but to like PJ Carlissimo. There's certain people you just can't help to like you.
Oh, thank you, Dick.
What about me, Mike?
About you? Ayers, an assistant to Gary Williams for 6 years at Ohio State. Gill now 3 out of 5 from the line. First foul on Robinson. Robinson 7 feet 245. Another Ohio State player, if he gives him 6-8 minutes, can really help him. He's only 245 because he lost 40 pounds from last year.
There goes Jackson to the sideline. He's so highly respected by all his teammates. Came in so heralded with a lot of publicity, but he backed it up. A la Kenny Anderson, they backed it up.
Gill makes it a 10-point game with 8:22 to go in the half.
Setting those 2 big screens up on top. They line up in a 1-2-2 set initially and try to have their guards come off those screens and then slide to the boxes.
Gent tries to make the tough pass along the baseline that time, and Marcus Liberty got a hand on it, but they will give the ball to Illinois. I thought Liberty knocked it out of bounds.
They did a good job throwing the ball right over the top of the front line of the pressure.
8 turnovers for Ohio State tonight.
Try to set a double screen. They're going to pop Gill out off the screen.
Kaufman kicked it back outside, and Liberty missed.
Baker really pushes the ball down the court quickly.
Back outside.
Mike, when you have a guard that can run the ball up the court quickly, it really puts pressure on the defense.
Foul away from the ball inside. Called on Rodney Jones for holding.
They try to rotate 3 guys in the post. There's Rodney Jones trying to play post defense. Oh! Little cheap shot in the gut or what?
Glad they caught that one.
I am too. That's a cheap shot. No place for that in a game. Good call by Ted Hillary.
Timeout, 7:29 to go in the half. Getting a little rough in Columbus. It's a 10-point game. Ohio State leading Illinois 27-17, even though the leading scorer, Jim Jackson, only has 4 points. And even though Illinois' leading scorer, Kendall Gill, already has 10. But the rest of Ohio State's players have certainly dominated the rest of Illinois' players.
There's a look at Marcus Liberty. He's been a no-show so far in terms of his ability level. He's had some great games this year. He's really come on strong most of the year, but against Michigan he had a poor game, and had a poor game against Michigan State except for the second half.
1 out of 6 shooting tonight, Dick.
There's Jackson with that fall-away Jay. There's the reverse, but now you got the postman right open.
Jackson has 6, almost stolen by Alex Davis, the freshman out of Cincinnati.
See, if they rotate up to shut off the guy that's throwing the ball in bounds, now you have to look at your post guy or look diagonally.
Trying to beat the 5-second count, and they do to Coughlin.
With the old rule 2 years ago, that would have been a violation.
Now, as long as the ball leaves the passer's hand, the count stops. Before, it had to touch the man in bounds.
You had to catch the ball, you're right.
Liberty trying to get inside. Got the roll and draws the foul. Robinson will pick it up.
Marcus has some excellent quickness. There's a look at Robinson. He told me today in a hotel lobby, I said, Marcus, there's stories you may leave. He said, no way. I know I'm not ready for the NBA yet. And that is an accurate assessment. He needs another year. There's the contact. Gets the roll. He told me, can I really do this for him? He asked me if I could say hello to his grandma who's watching.
You bet you can.
His grandpa passed away several weeks ago, and his grandma has raised him. And I'll tell you one thing, he is proud of his grandmother. And if you're listening, he sends his love.
Well, we'll send along our best, too. 29-20 with 6:51 to go. First half of play from Columbus.
I didn't know if I was allowed to do that. I wanted to get your permission.
Well, you got it.
Okay. There's the man-to-man defensively now. Look at the big guy, Robinson, trying to get post position.
Jackson with a long-range jumper.
I'll tell you what, he looks pretty on the last 2 jump shots.
I was going to say, it looks like he developed what you said he needed.
Well, he told me today he's going to really work on that during the summer. He really wants to complete his game by working on his perimeter jump shot.
Well, if you can shoot off balance 20-footers, you're in pretty good shape.
Well, the problem is it doesn't go down regularly when you're doing it that way. Look at
Another turnover. Here comes Baker. Ahead to Jackson.
Oh, they got away with the spectacular play.
Now, last year, and here's almost another turnover. Last year, that would have been a technical foul on Jackson. This year, you're allowed to hang on to the rim, and that's the only reason the ball went in.
Yeah, you're allowed to hang on a rim to protect yourself. There he goes. There he goes. Last year, weren't able to do that.
That ball comes out if he doesn't hang on the rim. He guided it in.
I'll tell you, those rims are very soft. I told you that before the game tonight.
You made 10 free throws in a row. They got to be soft.
Now,
big.
Who did I beat tonight? I want you to tell them who I whipped.
We'll tell them later. Here's another miss. The outlet comes to Alex Davis.
He's a quick player.
Forced that one. Robinson tried to get the offensive rebound. Out of bounds. Out to Ohio State.
Davis slumping a little bit. He really was starting in the middle of the year and was really coming on strong. He's another diaper dandy, a freshman.
Really picked up since Baker was inserted in the starting lineup. Irvin Small will come back in for Illinois.
Well, they were
Jones out.
They were also able to move Jamal Brown to his natural position, the second guard, when Baker really won the point guard slot. If Treg Lee would become the player they think, wow.
This foul will be on Small for coming over the back. Robinson had inside position.
Small from out of Simeon High School, the same high school that produced Nick Anderson.
Foul number 24, Rich Small, his first team 7.
5:44 to go in the half. The lead 13.
I think it's amazing what Lou Henson's clubs achieved this year when you consider all the distractions, that investigation going on all year. You think about his front court. They really got great perimeter players, but a lot of times it's 3 against 5.
To show you how well things are going tonight for Ohio State, Robinson, a 44% shooter from the free throw line, gets the shooter's roll, and it's 34-20. He has improved dramatically from a year ago.
He played well
because of that weight loss.
He played well against Michigan, and he also played well against Purdue.
15-point lead, more pressure.
And it's really been created by their defense.
Kaufman faked the three-pointer, then tried to drive. Gill has been most of the offense. Here he is with a running jumper. Robinson with a rebound, fouled by Liberty.
They're getting really frustrated right now. Illinois not playing well offensively. They really don't have a rhythm to their offensive attack. And most of all, Mike, they're getting nothing in transition.
And they certainly aren't getting many offensive rebounds or second chance points. P.J. Bowman, number 10, is back in. Kendall Gill will go out for a breather. And Robinson will go back to the line. This is Ohio State's biggest lead at 15. He has a chance to increase it.
You know, what a surprise this year in the Big Ten with the performance of Gene Katie's Purdue team. They got a big matchup Sunday when they take on the Wolverines at home. And then there's that matchup Michigan and Michigan State on Thursday. But what a tough break for Michigan State losing Kirk Mann.
I was just going to ask you about the Kirk Mann's injury. A lot of people I don't think have heard about that yet, Dick.
Oh, Mann's is out, and that's really going to hurt. He's got a stress fracture. He'll be out for 2 weeks. They say, and maybe more. He's a tremendous shooter, but they got an outstanding little guard named Montgomery who'll start with Steve Smith, who can flat out play.
Almost another steal, and Ohio State putting withering pressure on Illinois.
Bobby Knight really praised Steve Smith after the game between Indiana and Michigan State. Said he's one of the premier players in the Big Ten.
Look at this defense Ohio State is playing.
They're playing pressure on the ball, denying on the wings, helping out in the lane. 3 major elements of good man-to-man defense. Look at Jackson's technique. Look at the balance in his legs. Look at him step out. What a great hedge right there.
Double teaming wherever they can. Shot clock is down to 11. Kaufman partially blocked by Treg Lee. Here's Lee back the other way to Jackson.
What a great play. Created off the defense. What a clinic they put on defensively. Pressure, help. Listen
Jackson
to this
has 12.
Listen to this crowd. This is a madhouse. Listen to this madhouse.
And it's all defense. Oh, got the roll, and that'll put the crowd back in its seat. And the foul.
How many times have I told you about these rims? They are a shooter's dream. Look at Randy. Look at Randy. Now watch this right here. Normally this would be a brick, but these rims are so soft. They are so soft.
Second foul on Treg Lee. He had blocked Kaufman's previous try, thought he'd go after it again.
Kaufman came out of Jacksonville High School. He had a blood clot last year, was out all year, has come back. There's Carter coming on the floor. Mentioning a guy coming back as we look at Kaufman. We want to send our best wishes along for a speedy recovery to Joe Rett at the University of South Carolina. He had a pacemaker inserted last week in an operation, and we wish him a speedy, speedy recovery.
Certainly do. 17 points, Ohio State up, 4:14 to go in the half. The Buckeyes look tough tonight.
I'll tell you one thing, though. Illinois will make a run and make this interesting before it's over.
Baker with a hanger.
But they're going to have to pick it up a notch if they're going to make it a run, because I'll tell you right now, Ohio State's getting solid play at every position.
Kaufman, he's a good offensive player and seems to handle the ball very well.
He was a big-time scorer on the high school level. Big point production.
He has 4.
Robinson sealing inside, posting, making himself big and wide, using his free hand to get Liberty out of the way.
And then Liberty with a great athletic move steals it and then gets the ball back inbound.
Excellent post defense by Liberty, beat him with quickness.
Bowman, three-pointer, air ball. Bardo got the loose ball. Defense everywhere. Jackson commits the foul, and Bardo hit the shot anyway.
That was an amazing shot right there. Hanging in the air, pump fake, draws contact. Watch this move by Bardo, hanging in the air. Look at him, hang. There he is, hanging and gliding, and he converts it.
Nearly came back down before he released that ball.
His dad is here tonight. His dad's a professor. I like this guy as a referee taking the ball, Tom Rucker. He's from out of Detroit, Michigan. They're one of the real outstanding officials in the Big Ten.
Bardo, as you see, only averages 9 points a game, but look, the rebound, 6.2, and he's the leading assist man on this club, nearly 5 a game.
It's always surprised me that he hasn't scored more. I thought he would average at least 14, 15 a game, Mike.
And on top of that, he's the best defensive player in the Big Ten 2 years running. 41-27, Ohio State by 14 with 3:20 to go first half. Mike Patrick and Dick Vitale with you from Columbus. Tomorrow, we invite you to join us at 7:30 Eastern for one of the year's great games, Kansas at Oklahoma. The Sooners so tough at home. Kansas, the new #1 again. Then at 9:30, LSU against Florida. LSU, of course, coming off a stunning upset loss against Georgia. They'll be playing the Gators of Florida in Gainesville.
It's a big game for Chris Jackson and LSU. They're 1 game behind Georgia. Georgia's got a trip out to Tennessee. And Huey Durham's done an outstanding job as we look at Lou Henson. Alec Kessler, what a great story. 3.9 average academically, Kessler. And he's a microbiology student. Plus, he's a first-round draft choice, doing a phenomenal job with the Georgia Bulldogs. And that first game, Kansas and Oklahoma, as we see Tom Rucker going off.
Apparently Tom had to go into the locker room for an equipment adjustment or something. He just came back onto the court.
You know, you mentioned Kansas, Oklahoma. I was there yesterday, and the Sooners are really on fire. Their fans. And Jackie Jones from out of Detroit, Mike, you should see this kid play. Inside, outside, block shots. He's been brilliant for Billy Tubbs, and that'll be a great matchup with the Jayhawks and the Sooners.
Jamal Brown will now run the club for Ohio State.
2-3
stays in there.
2-3 zone right now by Illinois. Second time you've shown the zone.
Brown had it knocked away by Kendall Gill.
Great steal. Great steal. Oh, little reverse slam jam bam. Little showtime. Party time by the Flyin Illini.
Kendall Gill with 12. They've cut the lead back to 12.
What you want to do right now, you're hoping that you can get this in single figures.
Jamal Brown has telegraphed a couple of passes already. Davis can't hit the shot. Really their best pure shooter, but he has struggled a little bit lately and hasn't looked for a shot all that much. Liberty, nice pass to Kaufman, nice head fake, good drive, missed the shot, but got the foul.
Technical foul on a bench, too. They got a T on the bench.
Sure did.
Ted Valentine nailed the bench with a T. He said, technical for what? Teddy, for what? He said, I'm a nice guy. I'm a nice guy. For what? He said, it's not you, Randy. He got it, I believe, on the assistants.
Well, we'll get 2 shots for the personal, then 2 for the technical, then Illinois gets the ball out of bounds.
And also, it's broken the momentum for Ohio State. It's quieted the crowd.
Kaufman has 5. Mark this down. It was 41-29 with 2:25 to go when this happened. Kaufman hits them both.
There's the head fake. They get him up in the air, take the ball to the goal. Oh, there's the contact. No,
fouls on Robinson, his 3rd, and now Kaufman will shoot the technical. Missed it. He'll get another. 80% free throw shooter.
And they also get possession of the ball. Misses 2 technicals.
Kaufman, an 80% shooter, is 2 out of 5 at the line tonight. Here's a good move by Randy Ayers. He's getting Mark Baker back into the ball game to run the club.
Baker really did an outstanding job thus far. He's been their distributor, their leader. It's so important to have that point guard who can get the ball to key people, put pressure on the defense.
41-31. And Ted Rucker, one of the officials, is going off again. I think Ted has hurt himself.
Tom Rucker.
Excuse me, Tom Rucker. And we'll go with 2 referees in the last 2.5.
We had a game earlier where he pulled a muscle this year.
I think he's done it again.
He's over in Iowa.
Gill was pushed. And they'll get Jamal Brown for the foul, his 2nd.
They're right back in this game, Mike. Illinois is too talented to get blown out by anybody, really. Crowd is really silent now. It's really turned the tide.
This is really still part of that sequence of the technical fouls. This is the possession that followed the technicals. Gill, who has also struggled at the free throw line tonight, hits this one.
Tomorrow night, I'm going to give you my all Rolls-Royce team by position in my Fast Break report on SportsCenter. pick the best center, best power forward, small forward. And when you do that, Mike, and best point guard, you leave off some outstanding players. But I think the only way you can pick a true All-American team is by position. It's like an all-star team in baseball. You don't pick 9 center fielders.
That's right. Gill, 6 out of 8 from the free throw line, 14 points. The lead is down to 8. It's been as much as 15.
They're going to have to find somebody with a perimeter jump shot in a gap against the zone. The 2-3 zone.
Greg Lee.
There's the jumper. Got right into the gap of the zone. Got right into the gap.
Lead is back to 10, and here is Baker.
They're a different team with Baker on the floor. Then he goes up in the crowd. He gets a few handshakes. Look at him now. They love it. He loves it. He'll dream about that tonight. He'll be a BMOC on campus. He'll say, I ran right in the stands, mama.
They have a different personality when he runs the team.
They really do. They reflect his up-tempo style.
Illinois on an 11-2 run in the last 2 minutes and 30 seconds, which has gotten them back in this game. Baker almost got a steal that time, but Kaufman trying to make him pay. And the Irvin Small gets the bucket.
Small gets the loose ball. Kaufman's really put a spark in him offensively.
Got some quickness, likes to drive the baseline.
There's that 2-3 zone, big gaps on a wing. They go into the, drive it at the top of the circle and kick it to the wing. See, their wings are wide open.
Greg Lee again, this time back out to Jackson.
They got to reverse it and they'll get it right to the wing. You want to swing the ball, reverse the ball against the zone.
Tough pass. Perry Carter made the catch, but he missed the shot.
It was a tough catch, but he should have converted that. Went up a little bit tentatively.
Liberty. Small. Fight underneath, and Perry Carter comes out with it.
This is what I'm talking about, putting pressure on the defense, the way he runs the ball up the court.
Jamal Brown with a miss. Here comes Kaufman back the other way. Liberty ahead of the pack, and he found him. Liberty got the roll.
Nice catch, good hands, hanging with his body. They're back in a hunt.
Marcus Liberty has 26 seconds to go first half. Illinois with a burst to get back in this thing.
They're trying to be the spoiler. They want to knock them out of the big dance and big party. They also spoiled the little party for Purdue and making it a lot tighter in that Big Ten, beating them Wednesday night.
Baker tries to dump it off. Got a jump ball situation inside. Illinois ball on the possession arrow.
Well, see, he got himself caught up in the air again, Mike. He's up in the air, then he's looking to make the pass to the first open guy. Not a good decision. You don't want to leave your feet in passing the basketball.
Baseball pass knocked away by Lee. Liberty still gets it, puts up a desperation shot. Kendall Gill with a follow, and it counts.
Why do the great players always seem to be in the right place at the right time?
Holy cow. Liberty with a desperation shot. He got it close enough so that Kendall Gill could follow and get it back to 4.
He beats the clock. Now watch this right here. It's beat the clock. There it is. Now here comes Gill.
Boy, that clock started late, didn't it, Dick?
Yeah, it looked that way.
That took a while. We're at the half in Columbus, Ohio. Ohio State leading by as many as 15. Now has a 4-point lead over Illinois. Let's go to John Saw. Back for the second half. Here are the halftime stats. Illinois shooting 47% after a great stretch run in that half. Ohio State 58%. Illinois getting the better of it on the boards, and Illinois with 12 turnovers, Ohio State 11 after it was very lopsided early. Leading scorers, Kendall Gill has kept Illinois in it with 16 to the 39. Jim Jackson, the only man in double figures for Ohio State, but they've had pretty balanced scoring. We will go with 2 officials the remainder of the game. Tom Rucker has a pulled calf muscle and will not be able to continue.
Perry Carter's really been quiet, Mike. He's 1 for 4, and the big fella's been such a force inside. Had 26 in their first meeting against Illinois. They need some point production out of Carter.
Chris Jenner scored a lot early and then was unheard from in the remainder of the first half. Misses his initial try in the second 20 minutes. This is Liberty. Banged it off the side of the board. Scramble for the loose ball. Gent trying to get it out. Bodies everywhere. No whistle. Here comes Gent. Missed again. And Gent will get a foul inside.
He's really struggling shooting the basketball, but the one thing about him, he's not struggling with his effort. He really is working so hard on the floor. I think he's pressing a lot, not just relaxed in shooting the ball.
Illinois basketball, and here comes the Ohio State press, which was so effective in the first half.
They've had a chance now really to set up in the locker room and really adjust. Let's see the kind of adjustments they made.
Liberty will try it again. He hit the side of the backboard the last time down. This time he gets his 9th and 10th points. It's a 2-point game.
He has excellent mobility. One of the adjustments is some zone defense right now. They're going to stay in the zone.
I guess this is where Jackson needs to take a little more pressure on himself. Like that, dumps it underneath. And Perry Carter wasn't looking. The ball goes out of bounds. Illinois has scored 21 of the last 25 points in this game.
They've really picked it up at the end of the first half, and right here, they've established a little bit of taking charge right now. There's another foul over the top.
Baker missed, and Jackson is going to pick up the personal, trying for the rebound, his second.
They have to try. One way of trying to beat the zone, if you don't have a real good zone offense, is to try to beat it in transition before the zone can actually get a line.
Kendall Gill will handle the ball, beat the pressure easily.
They shouldn't have a lot of pressure. They shouldn't have really a lot of problems attacking that pressure with the kind of perimeter people they possess, Illinois.
Foul away from the ball.
I think they got a 3-second violation.
Now Kaufman, you're right.
Very rare. You don't see that call made too often in college basketball. There's the zone. This zone has big gaps on the wings and also right in the red where it says Big Ten in the lane. You could slide someone right behind Compton. You could slide someone right in that lane. Jackson should flash right into the lane area.
Carter tries a very tough pass. Jet with a great save, but it goes to Illinois. Kendall Gill on the run.
Good defensive transition by Ohio State getting back. Oh,
we're tied as Liberty hits the dipsy-do inside.
He's so mobile. He really is agile, mobile. The Illinois fans, the faithful, Mary Henson stands up and cheers for her hubby sitting behind the Illinois bench.
Jackson with a miss. Illinois with a chance to take the lead.
Give it up. Give it up. There it is.
Kaufman pump fake. He's fouled.
Good pass, though, by Kendall Gill. I think right now Ohio State needs a timeout and has to really readjust because they are struggling against that zone defensively.
Jim Jackson picks up his third.
See, right now, Gill's got a trailer. He's got a trailer. He tries to draw the defense to him, dumps it off. There's the head fake. A lot of times a guy with that head fake will lift the pivot foot, but he kept his pivot foot planted.
Kaufman hits the free throw, and Illinois takes the lead, 44-43.
We said when they were down big that they will ultimately come back and make it interesting. They're just too explosive of a team.
Now let's see if Ohio State can answer the challenge. They're down by 2.
The challenge is the zone. The zone has really wrapped them up. See, the zone has got big gaps. Look at the top of the circle. Reverse the ball. It's wide open on that wing. Look at that gap. Oh, that's a foul. No doubt about it.
Brown is nailed as he goes inside, and Bardo made sure.
He made him pay for that driving the lane. There's Brown now driving the gap. He spots a seam. Most zones have a seam and a gap to him, and there's Bardo. I mean, that is a big-time NBA foul.
Bardo makes sure he doesn't get the bucket, and Jamal Brown, a 72% shooter, goes to the line.
That's 3 on Bardo, though. That can be big.
17-20 to go in the game. Remember the importance of this one. Ohio State with a 13-11 record. They feel they need to win at least 3 of their last 4 to have a legitimate NCAA chance.
They're relying on strength of schedule. It used to be years ago, 20 was the magical number. No longer.
Bad pass. They turned it over, and that's what Ohio State was able to do to Illinois in the first half.
They need a big play because the crowd has been quiet in the last 5 or 6 minutes of the first half and early in the second half. They need the big play to really get the crowd into the game.
Brown, baseline drive, tries to reverse, blocked. Excellent defense by Bardo.
He really anticipates well defensively. He leads you to the right spot on the floor, and that's why he is the premier defensive player in the Big Ten. Melvin Newbern can play defense also for Minnesota.
Kendall Gill puts Illinois back on top, and Gill with 18 tonight.
High percentage shot, steps right into the lane. He knows his range as a shooter.
Been on a tear his last 6 games, 24.5 points of contact.
See, right now they're standing against that zone. There's not enough ball movement. The zone moves with the movement of the basketball. You got to swing the ball side to side.
Gent, Ohio State still hasn't hit a field goal in this half. Jackson changes that.
Jackson with the offensive rebound. Great upper body strength.
Jackson has 14. Almost a steal by Gent and almost a foul. Very aggressive man-to-man switching defense. Liberty for three. Gent with a rebound.
Good rebound by Chris Gent. Excellent position.
Baker blocked by Liberty. Jackson for three. Offensive rebound, Perry Carter. It's blocked by Liberty. Holy cow!
They want the goaltending call, but Liberty's made two great defensive plays.
Kaufman tripped by Baker. It was accidental, but it's a foul anyway.
Remember, we got two officials. They don't have the angles and the look that you would with a three-man crew, but they're doing their best.
Treg Lee will check back in for Ohio State. Brown will come out. We have a timeout, 15:49 to go in the game. Ohio State and Illinois tied at 47.
Walk to the wire. Watch the defensive play of Marcus Liberty. Watch the great anticipation. He really shows in this sequence two great block shots, which happened a little bit earlier. There's number 30. Look at him swat that one away. But that's not enough. He says, I'm going to swat another one away. There goes the ball. Offside rebound. There goes Carter. But here comes Marcus. Get it out of here, Carter. Get it out of here, baby. Hey, Carter's got to wake up. They got to get the wake-up call of Carter if they're going to win this game, Mike.
Marcus Liberty has 4 blocked shots in this game. Carter started well and then has sort of disappeared. It's certainly offensively.
Hasn't given them the scoring production they need on the inside. He's too talented.
Bardo, great first step, got him to the baseline, missed the shot, and Treg Lee with a board.
See, early in the game, they were beating Illinois down the floor. Now they're not beating them down the floor. They're making them play 5-on-5.
Jackson's gone cold from the outside. They just absolutely gave him that shot. Kaufman, partially blocked by Gent.
Excellent play defensively by Gent. See, right now they're making this a 5-on-5 game, Illinois, and they got the advantage.
Bardo just picked Gent's
He wants
pocket.
the left hand. Watch, he wants to use the left. No, he goes to the right. He loves to dunk with his left hand.
Kendall Gill with 20, Illinois by 2. What a defensive play by Bardo. Anticipated Gent's bounce pass.
What about the credit of Lou Henson going in, coming out with the zone, and the zone has created a real dilemma here for Ohio State.
Perry Carter with a rebound. He's clobbered by Liberty. That will be 2 on Marcus Liberty.
Carter's got such a strong body. Watch right now, Liberty defensively with the steal. Then he kicks it out to his buddy, a member of the Flyin Illini. Bardo, I'm sorry, I gave Liberty credit. He doesn't deserve credit. There goes Gill. Bardo to Gill. What a tandem they've been at Illinois.
Carter hits the free throw. The foul given to Urban Small. It will be his 3rd.
Next year, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with the recruits that Illinois aligned early. They had a good recruiting class. Many of them say they definitely will be coming. Jamie Brandon, haven't heard from him. Earlier this year, he said, I'm going to go to Oklahoma if Illinois is put on probation. He's Mr. Basketball in Illinois from out of King High School. Tremendous talent.
Some of the people from Illinois, Dick, said they don't expect this to be decided until mid or late summer at this point.
Yeah, they expect possibly to go to the June docket. Some say April.
Gent picks up the foul. That's 3 on him.
They signed an outstanding little guard, too, named Rennie Clemens. As we look at Gent getting her 3rd foul. Crowd doesn't like it.
Bardo goes to the line. 5 points tonight. Make it 6. Some of the fans here really getting on the Illinois players, waving dollar bills and car keys, emblematic of the investigation.
Well, they're trying to emulate the Duke people.
Yeah.
Down at Duke, they go absolutely bananas, but they send a message out. If they throw anything on the floor, they're going to bang them with a technical, and that's a good rule. You can't throw anything out on the floor.
Oh, the introduction of the NC State team earlier down there, they had about 100 sneakers got thrown on the floor. Marcus Liberty involved in that last play. Ball knocked out of bounds. Ohio State turns it over.
That's a walk-in violation.
You can't run on the baseline.
Yes, you cannot. You can only run on a baseline after a score.
Not a turnover.
Not after a turnover. It's treated like catching a pass inbounds.
Small just forgot. Illinois by 2, 14 minutes, 3 seconds to go in the game.
Little plays like that come back to haunt you in a close basketball game. See, they're going to get in a gap. They're playing with the ball on a perimeter. Look at the gaps in that zone. A gap means between two people.
Gent for 3. Tregley, offensive rebound, lost it on the way up. Kaufman back the other way. Kicks it back to Gill.
Kendall Gill with the wide open jump shot. He's really like playing a small forward position, playing on that wing.
Illinois has dominated the game since the last 5 minutes of the first half. They're up by 4. Illinois 52, Ohio State 48, 13:35 to go in the ball game from Columbus, Ohio. Mike Patrick along with Dick Vitale. And Dick, Ohio State has gone cold since the last 5 minutes of the first half. Shooting, their defense, look at the shooting, 8% here in the second half, and their defense not creating anything.
Well, I really think the problem is their half-court execution, and the reason they're shooting so poorly, shot selection and attacking the zone defense. And Illinois, a predominantly man-to-man defensive team, stays with the zone until they can prove they can attack it.
Lou Henson went to the 2-3 zone. It has worked very well. Carter tied up by Small. Possession arrow will give the ball to Illinois.
Perry Carter struggling offensively. He has to give him some point production on the interior. He's got a flash to the ball and one. He's doing a good job rebounding. He's got 8 rebounds.
2-on-1, Liberty clobbered, but the basket counts.
What a quick move by Liberty. It was the bounce off the floor that created the opportunity for Liberty. What an unbelievable quickness. Now watch the pass by Kendall Gill. He drills the bounce pass. Now look at the quick explosive move by Liberty. I mean, he just exploded and bounced off the floor like a rubber ball.
Perry Carter tried to clobber him, but he couldn't prevent him from scoring and picked up his 3rd personal foul in the process.
Unless they can find a remedy in attacking that zone, they're going to have a tough time winning this game, Mike. Now take a look at the zone right here. If you look at the zone, 2 people up on top, it's got a wide gap between Kaufman and between Gill. You got to drive it into that gap. See, there's a gap on top, but they're just playing with the ball on the perimeter. They're not driving. You want to drive the ball into the gap of that zone.
Jackson.
That's what I'm talking about. Driving it into the gap right there. Thank you, James.
Either Jackson or Baker have to make that penetrating move. Lost it out of bounds. Oh, out to Illinois, and the crowd doesn't like that one at all. It happened right in front of the Ohio State bench.
And Ted Valentine shows a lot of guts making the call.
There are 2 officials tonight.
So therefore, you don't see the good angles as you do with Freed. The injury to Tom Rucker had to leave with a muscle pull. They show the trap and then immediately fall back. Man-to-man defense.
Last bucket was the first Ohio State field goal in the last 4 minutes. Still, they're down by only 4.
And it was created by the penetration into the gap by Jackson.
Bardo over Jackson. That was tipped in. That's got to go to Small.
Yeah, it was Small. Urban Small with the left-hand tip. Aggressive move to the basket.
Lead back to 6.
See, now, right now, he should drive the ball into the... That's where you want to drive it. Good move, and it creates the open shot.
Jumper for Alex Davis wouldn't go. Offensive rebound. Perry Carter puts it up, and he's fouled.
Whenever you drive the ball into the seam of the zone, it makes 2 people try to pinch the ball and creates an opening for a jump shot.
Foul was on Stephen Bardo. That's 4
They
with 12:01 to go. And Lou Henson has Brooks Taylor up to come in for him. Boy, a very vociferous crowd tonight.
They are loud. This was all created by Gary Williams. Speaking of Gary's done an outstanding job with Maryland, but they lost that game to Wake Forest.
Marcus Liberty called for the foul underneath as Perry Carter is working just as hard as he can for offensive rebound.
He's a bona fide big-time rebounder, averaging 7 a game.
That is only the 4th team foul against Illinois here in the second half. Ohio State has committed 6. Jackson, got it.
They give him a 3. See,
56-53.
That's where it's really difficult with 2 officials seeing the 3-point shot, getting a good look at that line. Jackson's made 2 big offensive plays here.
Liberty, that was partially blocked by Jackson. Kendall Gill with a follow. Offensive rebound, whistle, no basket. foul on Illinois.
This crowd is really alive. They know what's at stake.
Or a travel.
They got to travel. They want that NCAA berth, and they know they need a win desperately here tonight.
Jackson to the baseline. He hit it. He's made 3 straight baskets, including a 3, and the lead is down to 1.
And the diaper dandy rising to the occasion, Jimmy Jackson, one of America's premier freshmen.
Jackson has 21.
He's a big timer, isn't he, Mike?
Terrific player.
Terrific, so unselfish.
Great court sense.
Good instincts, a winner, great attitude.
This is Brooks Taylor, number 4. Gill, boy, he almost turned that one over.
I thought he did carry it. That's one area a lot of players get away with now.
Don't they ever?
Really carrying the ball, especially on a professional level.
Yeah, well, they're just training for the NBA. Kaufman down the lane, offensive foul.
That's a good call by Teddy Valentine. Momentum now has swung. Momentum, Uncle Mo, because of the play of JJ, has swung to the Buckeyes, and the Buckeye wackos love it. There goes the drive by Kaufman. Great defensive positioning by Baker. Squares his body, takes the charge, and listen to this wild madhouse.
You would think they would get it to Jackson. He's hit his last 3. Instead, Davis!
Uh-oh!
A 3-pointer!
Uh-oh! He better not waste time. I'd get Bardo in the game. Oh, there comes Bardo right now. Thank you, Lou.
Lou Henson stops the clock with 10:19 to go in the game. Ohio State has come back to take a 2-point lead. 10 minutes, 19 seconds to go in the game. Ohio State over Illinois by 2 in the main event tonight, but on the undercard earlier, it was the heavyweight champion of the world, Buster Douglas, against Dick Vitale.
I beat that brick thrower, I'll tell you what. I beat that brick thrower. He couldn't shoot with me. Let me get the cash. I want $25 million. I want some of his cash, baby. And I took it from him.
He reached in the pocket, didn't he?
Oh, he wheeled out those hundreds, man. Unbelievable. He said, I love the fame. He said, what a ride I'm on for the last 2 weeks.
Wait till September. He'll be lighting cigars with hundreds.
Woo! Draw. Nice
Gill from Bardo, great pass, and a good job by Baker to come over and commit the foul and save the bucket.
Like, I think it's a great coaching move by Lou Henson, bringing Bardo on the floor. There's the diagonal pass. We talk about that pass off, and the diagonal is so effective. But he brings Bardo in. He's got 4 fouls, but I think sometimes coaches try to protect the star player, keep him on the bench, and the game gets away from him.
Rodney Jones will come back in, and here's a big move as Mark Baker goes out for Ohio State. Davis and Brown will be the guards. Remember, the last time that Baker went out, Illinois forced a couple of turnovers in a row.
Well, pretty good move for this reason as he misses the free throw. Davis and Brown are long-range shooters, and with the zone defense, he doesn't need the extra ball handler, Baker.
Kendall Gill, 6 out of 9 from the line. Very unlike him. 7 out of 10. Shot 88% from the line in his last 6 games. Ohio State by 1.
I would go right at Bardo, try to get his 5th. He's such a leader. I would drive the ball at Bardo. See, they got to be aware of that.
Perry Carter spun it back in. Now, why would Illinois go away from the zone?
I can't understand that one. I think they saw the last 2 possessions. They want to show a little man and maybe go back into the zone. But if I were Ohio State, I'd rotate the ball over to whoever's checked by Bardo and drive right out.
Kaufman tries to drop it off to Jones, and he banks it in.
Jones gives him some scoring inside. They like to rotate 3 people inside. Small, Jones, or Petty, hoping to get a solid performance from the trio.
Jones came down looking like he's limping a little bit, may have hurt an ankle. Foul inside. It's going to be called on Jones for holding.
Yeah, he's limping right now. You can just see how gingerly he's walking on the floor. Some out of Philadelphia. Had a nice game against Temple for bragging rights.
He had 93 block shots in junior college. He can jump.
Well, the junior college rule right now in the Big Ten, I think, is archaic. And I know Jim Delaney's a very creative guy. And I'll get into that rule tomorrow on my basketball fast break in Sports Center.
Jamal Brown with a drive, dumps it off. Nice roll. Jackson gets the points.
Is he a big time? I just love watching him play because he doesn't force shots, takes the high percentage shot.
Kaufman, good ball handler to Marcus Liberty. Missed the shot. This foul will go on Kendall Gill.
Gill with the aggressive play. They go to the line. You know, let me clarify that about that rule, Mike, about the junior college rule. In the Big Ten, they have a rule. If a youngster's a Proposition 48 and goes to junior college and he graduates and now he wants to go to to a four-year school, if he comes to a Big Ten school, he has to sit the year out. Well, why would a Larry Johnson or a Jackie Jones, who's at Oklahoma, want to come to the Big Ten and sit the year out?
No way.
They go elsewhere. Now, I think that rule is ridiculous and absurd because there are a lot of good junior college kids. Why punish the kid? He's graduated. He's done his job. Give him an opportunity to play. And I think the Big Ten hurts itself. The coaches don't like it. The athletic directors don't like it. It was put in by the faculty reps.
Here's a steal by Gent. Puts it up with the left hand. Forced it. It won't go. Carter with a big save. Kaufman took it away from him. Gent tries to draw the foul and does it.
Jensen, proper possession. I'll tell you, this is like a wild scene here, Mike. It's bedlam. They were juiced up before the game in terms of really knowing that this game is so big if they want a chance to play in the NCAA tournament.
Even when Gent makes a mistake, he seems to make up for it on the other end of the floor.
Well, he plays so hard.
5-point lead, Ohio
Nice
State.
pass.
Carter from lead.
Nice pass.
7-point lead.
And now the pressure's picked up a notch. What a change. This game has been a changing game.
Kaufman for three. He's a big-time shooter.
If he can square his body and get a good look at the goal, he can knock it down. But this game has changed rhythm-wise constantly.
Kaufman has 11. The lead is back to 4. 7 minutes, 57 seconds to go from St. John Arena. Mike Patrick and Dick Vitale, glad you could join us for Big Monday Part 2.
Illinois having a tough time checking a man-to-man.
Carter knocked out of bounds. That's Ohio State. Perry Carter in the last 5 minutes has really come alive. Hope you'll be with us for more great college basketball action tomorrow. Kansas and Oklahoma, 7:30 live. Remember, Kansas for the third time this year is #1, but Oklahoma wins at home, Dick.
Well, 44 in a row, 107 out of their last 109. And what other team has had a chance to play the #1 team in the nation within 48 hours? Missouri, they blew them out yesterday, and then they have Kansas tomorrow.
Davis, who hit his last shot from exactly that spot, misses. And Carter will pick up the personal foul. That'll be 4 on Perry Carter.
Yeah,
now they're pointing at Treg Lee. And it's 3 on Treg Lee instead of 4 on Perry Carter, and that's good news for Ohio State.
I'll be down in Gainesville tomorrow in a big game for LSU. They're hanging 1 game behind Georgia in that Southeastern Conference Championship, and Dale Brown's club's got to win their next 2 and hope somebody can bump up Georgia. But if it's a tie, I would imagine the #1 seed goes to Georgia because they beat LSU twice during the regular season, coming back both times from big, big deficit.
Jackson is back in, so is Bill Robinson for Ohio State, and Kendall Gill goes to the line where he's 7 out of 10 tonight. Missed another one.
Sometimes when a team is pressuring you and you have good athletes like Illinois, it's good to go out and pressure them, to really let them know that you can apply pressure, to make them think a little bit more.
4-point Ohio State lead. Jackson being guarded by Gill.
Look at Robinson trying to post, drop step inside.
Carter from 18 feet.
Not his range.
Offensive rebound. Jamal Brown came up with a loose ball and scored.
Brown inside, in the right place. He's a great high jumper. Can go about 6'10" in high jumping.
P.J. Bowman from outside with a miss. The follow by Small is short. Another follow, this time by Liberty.
Good offensive rebound by Liberty. Good nose for the ball.
Marcus Liberty with 16 points.
This has been one heck of an intense basketball game.
This has been fun. Randy Ayers wants a timeout with 6:42 to go in the game. His club up by 4. 7 o'clock Wednesday night, 10th-ranked Syracuse goes against Seton Hall, and during that game, ESPN will also feature live reports on the UConn-Georgetown game in the nation's capitals. If the Huskies beat Georgetown, they clinch at least a share of the Big East title. Then at 9 o'clock Eastern, a battle for #1 in the ACC. Duke against Clemson. Clemson finally getting some respect, not only in the ACC, but nationwide. They are 20th, and Clemson has never won the ACC championship. This is their shot.
Well, they have a chance to share for first place with Duke. If they win, they have 23 in a row that they've won at Littlejohn, and they got that outstanding duo inside, Dale Davis and Eldon Campbell. Leitner has not been playing well lately for Duke, and he's going to have a big performance.
We asked earlier in the year if Clemson were for real, we would find out. Well, we found out they're for real.
No doubt about it. They rotate now, Mike, into the 2-3 zone again, and this created a problem.
Carter had the shot blocked, and the foul will go against Andy Petty.
I'll tell you one thing, Carter looks like he has a body to go in a ring and fight Douglas.
Fouls on number 50, Petty is first.
Ohio State, 8% in the first 6 minutes of this half. They have really come on strong in the last 7 minutes, though.
Well, that was created because of the shot selection of Jimmy Jackson. He really took it upon himself to attack the zone and go into the gap.
Perry Carter, 11 points tonight. His season average, 14 and a half. Also with 11 big boards.
When they recruited Carter, they envisioned Carter and Treg Lee being a dominant force inside. But Treg has not really arrived as a big-time player here.
Ohio State by 5 with 6:06 to go in the game.
Man-to-man defense right now by the Buckeyes.
Gill, double team, tries to dump it off. Jackson saves. Robinson up with a loose ball. Double team, gets it out.
He got fouled.
Great effort by Robinson to prevent being tied up, and Marcus Liberty commits his third personal.
And an excellent effort by Ted Valentine making that call. He jumped right at there. Quickness by Valentine. Now here's a little scramble. They drive to the, there's the good save. Saved by Jackson. Now look at this, he goes between the legs, the big fella. Show agility. Look, he says, like, you can't get that from me. I'm like a QB, a quarterback. Got great hands.
Robinson, who's a 44% free throw shooter, has hit 4 out of 4 tonight.
He went to Canton McKinley High School. They produced over there a guy by the name of Gary Grant, another guy by the name of Phil Hubbard, both starred at the University of Michigan.
Robinson has hit 5 straight free throws.
Yeah, it looks good shooting them too. Mentioning Michigan, big date with Michigan State Thursday.
Oh yeah.
And then that matchup with Purdue on Sunday down in Purdue. You talk about a loud place, Mackey, that place really rocks.
Robinson finally misses one. It's still a 6-point Ohio State lead. Here's Kaufman, he can hit the long-range shot. Had a wide open opportunity and passed on it.
Well, if he inside-outside, if he gets the good look at the goal, he can shoot that shot.
Liberty leans into one, didn't get it, but he's fouled by Robinson.
They produce some athletes down at King High School where he's from. The young man now playing there, Jamie Brandon, who committed verbally to Illinois, is a multi-talented athlete, and Liberty was a sensational player on the scholastic level.
4 fouls on Robinson. Spins out on Liberty. He's only hit 2 out of 5 free throws tonight, 75% shooter on the season.
What a team they would have had if they had Deion Thomas across that front, because he is quality. I watched Thomas play on a scholastic level, and he's exactly what Illinois needs. He would really make them an unbelievable force.
How about Nick Anderson if he had
Wow, now you're in another world.
Yeah.
Now you're in another world.
Baker back in to run the point for the last 5.5 minutes of the ball game.
There's the zone right now. They're going to get right into the gap of it. See how he drove it into the gap?
Jackson with the touch and gets the foul from Kaufman.
I can't emphasize that enough. A zone has a gap to it. You must attack the gap of the zone. The gap meaning two people. Now you take a look at the gap. Look at Jimmy Jackson. See the gap right there? He goes right into the gap, right into the seam. Boom, knocks it down. Beautiful. There's another look. What a big-time performer. What a big-time performer. A PTPer. Lou wants the walk-in violation. They say, no, Lou dude. No, Lou dude. They say, sit down, Lou dude. Come sit down.
We have 5 fouls on Kaufman, and he is very slowly going to the sideline. Coaches have used this as a timeout for years, and Lou is not giving up on that travel call.
You better watch out. He doesn't want a team right now. Ted Valentine showed early in the first half that he does not waste time calling a tee.
There have been 2 technicals, 1 on each bench. Neither head coach has been hit by one.
What a good-looking athlete right here.
Jackson, 24 points.
From Toledo, Ohio. They're trying to mimic Lou at that walk-in violation. What a way to make a living. You got to be wacky to want to be a coach today. I got the best job in the world, Mike. It's unbelievable. Sit at courtside, get paid handsomely.
Pushing foul called on Gent. That's his fourth.
I can feel for those coaches, the pain and suffering they got to go through. There's a look at Randy in his first year. You got a lot of years to go, Randy. His brother's the mayor of Springfield, Ohio. 8 children, all graduated from college. He said, we didn't have a lot of money when I was a youngster, but we had loads of love for my mom.
Bardo hits the first, he'll get another. That foul, we're told now, only 3 on Gent and not 4.
I love hearing people talk about the love for their mom. I really think that's beautiful when you have that within you. There's the so-long walk-in violation, Lou. Look at this now. They're all going bananas. What a bunch of wackos. Look at these guys. Future business people, lawyers.
Bardo hits another one.
Bardo's been playing a long stretch. He put him in with 12 minutes to go with 4 fouls.
73-67. Baker is back in after about a 30-second breather.
See, I think you got to recognize when a player like a Bardo's on the floor with 4, and you have to attack his area.
Gent from long range, Liberty with a rebound.
Because he's going to be really a no-show on a defensive end with 4.
Bardo to Bowman.
Bowman not shooting the ball like they anticipated. Came in as a specialist, as a shooter out of the junior college ranks, PJ.
Bardo for 3. What a big shot.
I've always said I can't understand him averaging only 9 points a game.
73-70. Ohio State's lead cut to 3.
And they are on the bubble, big time on the bubble for an NCAA berth.
Now let's see what this zone will do. Very effective early.
Like that bubble will totally burst if they lose on their living room floor here today. There's that seam right there, takes it to it, score it.
4 straight times against the zone. Jackson has hit a bucket. He has 26 tonight.
And a high percentage shot. He gets within his range. He knows and recognizes his range. 15 feet and in.
He has 14 points in the second half. Oh, what a beautiful drive.
You tell me he should average 9 a game?
No, he could get 20 if he wanted it.
Oh, he should at least average 14.
He has 13 tonight. Ohio State by 3. 3:41 to go in the game. Most of the crowd on its feet.
Want to swing the ball against the zone, reverse it, then drive it into the seams.
They have their big lineup in there now with Robinson and Carter both in the middle. Jackson trying to penetrate again. Baker cut off. Has to get rid of it. Gent for 3.
He's really struggling, not getting that good rotation. He's not getting the ball off his fingertips.
Kendall Gill missed the shot. Good pressure from Gent. Loose ball. Here comes Baker.
Give it up! Give it up!
He's got
Give
Jackson open. Takes it himself.
He scores, Mike, but that wasn't a great play. He had Jackson ahead of him for the slam dunk, but he got away with it. He got away with it. Take a look right now. He's got Jackson. He doesn't see Jackson. He says, forget it, James. I'm taking the baby to the goal. Here goes Baker. He explodes like a runaway halfback.
The foul on Bowman, who just grabbed Jackson and tried to throw him down to prevent the bucket, but he got it anyway.
Should have given the rock up.
Baker, 11.6 assists tonight. The lead is back to 5 with exactly 3 minutes to go. Baker's hit 1 out of 2 so far. Missed that one. Almost tipped in by Perry Carter.
Like, there legitimately could be 7 teams out of the Big Ten in the NCAA tournament.
Bardo clobbered by Robinson. That should be the 5th on Robinson.
Bardo with the drive, very effective drive. But Robinson's given him some quality minutes here
Yes,
tonight.
he has.
He's a space eater, big wide body. You know, you talk about it. If it's legitimately based on the computer, the best 64 teams in America, they'll get 7.
No doubt.
I mean, Indiana's certainly one of the best 64 in America. They were 10 and zip out of the gate until they ran into the Big Ten. Robinson fouls out with 7 big points.
Problem is, if you're taking teams with 16 or 17 wins, you can see how the smaller schools that have 23 or 24 wins really feel left out.
Oh, and they definitely have to feel left out. There's no question about it. But that power schedule based on the computer that the NCAA utilizes, a lot of it very similar. You can get an idea if you check USA out. USA Today with the Sagarin power ratings that are posted.
Bardo has scored the last 8 Illinois points. Make it 9.
Yes.
And he's cut the lead to 3 again, 77-74.
Bardo, Gill, and Liberty. What a trio they have been all year for Illinois. Jackson's been the star here in attacking this zone. He has the instincts and the knowledge of knowing that you got to attack. A dribble penetration move is definitely a legitimate great move against the zone. Try to get 2 people to play 1. Overloading against the zone is very effective.
Baker penetrates and kicks it back to Jackson.
See, that's not his range. As soon as he steps out a little deep, he has trouble shooting the ball. And he knows that, though. He recognizes that because he spoke to me earlier tonight about the fact that he's got to work on his range as a shooter.
Bardo against Jamal Brown. 2:09 to go in the game, and Bardo has taken over.
It's amazing. I keep shaking my head when I look at the stats, and I've seen this kid on numerous occasions. What a big-time play he made right there, Mike.
The senior out of Carbondale has made it a 1-point game. Brown with a penetration, back to Baker. Harry Carter, triple team, bank it home.
They get it to Carter down in the box inside. Turn around, 3-point game.
Carter has come alive, he has 14 points.
And remember what's at stake for Ohio State, on the bubble, big time. Need this W badly.
Bardo says this is his game. Petty almost has the rebound, but he's called for the foul.
Over the top.
The native of Nigeria picks up his second personal, stops the clock with 1:28 to go.
Free throw shooting now, one of the special areas in a game of basketball. In football, you'll talk often about your special teams. Well, in basketball, special situations, out of bounds sideline, out of bounds baseline, converting free throws, so important.
Carter out of Washington, D.C. The first game against Illinois, 25 points, 16 rebounds. Tonight, 14 points and 12 rebounds.
He really picked it up late here in the second half.
And he's hit 7 out of 9 free throws.
None bigger than that one.
Takes him a 4-point lead. He can make it 5.
Well, it takes away the 3-point shot.
Nice rotation on the ball. 8 out of 10 from the line.
Come on, smile, Randy. He said, I can't smile. I'll smile after we get the W.
Boy, Bardo just said, this is my
he carried
game,
it.
and he carried that one.
Yes, sir. Trying to force the action, Bardo. Lou Henson, very calm right now, knows his club's in trouble.
Nothing against Bardo, Dick, but he's got another guy out there by the name of Kendall Gill who hasn't touched the ball in 4 trips down court.
Exactly, trying to force the action. Right now, they got to use the clock. Spread the court. Spread the court. There they go. They go to a 3-man up on top with quickness.
They're up by 5 with 1:08 to go in the game. And here's a holding foul. And if it's on Bardo, it's 5. P.J. Bowman was also there. Let's see who gets it. And it's Bowman. So Bardo will be able to stay in the game.
Mark Baker can really put him in great shape here, converting a 1-on-1.
60% free throw shooter on the season.
That really hurts when your point guard doesn't shoot in the 70s. That's another problem sometimes with Ramil Robinson down the stretch. He's usually clutch.
Now, Gent got the offensive rebound, but they said he pushed off to get it.
That really hurts. What a turnaround. Instead of being up 7, the clock doesn't start. They go to the other end of the floor. They get a 1-on-1 to narrow it down to 3 if he converts here.
Without the clock running.
Without the clock running. You know, talking about Ramil, he's certainly a great point guard. But I really believe a guy of his quality should be in the mid-70s on that free throw line. And I think your point guards, like the Corcianis, really help you tremendously because they're going to have the ball in their hands. You can foul late in the game. Gent fouled out, only 8 points, but what an effort he gave defensively and also his effort in terms of playing on the defensive. And look at him, look at the intensity. I love that. Look at the intensity.
Tremendous hustle, and Treg Lee will replace him. He had all 8 of his points in the first half.
He gets all his looks, too, from his mom, a beautiful lady.
1:05 to go in the game. Irvin Small, not a good free throw shooter, 1-1.
He looked good on that one. What a turnaround. There you are, your point guard's at the line. You're up 5, minute and 5. You can go up 7. He bricks it, foul. They come down. No time wasted, and it's a three-pointer if he converts.
Small hits another one. 81-78 with a minute 5. And Baker is fouled by Bowman. Why not? Baker has hit 1 out of 4 shots from the free throw line.
Exactly.
He's the guy you're going to go after. You don't want to touch Perry Carter. Normally somebody who might want to foul. He's 8 out of 10 tonight.
Exactly. So you want to go to this guy right here until he can prove to you that he can knock him down.
Missed the front end of a 1-1 with only 7 ticks off the clock ago.
Had an outstanding high school career at Dunbar High School down in Dayton.
Got that one.
Big one because it's 4 again. Takes away the three-point shot. Need 2 possessions now, Illinois.
12 points for Baker.
Very quiet.
Give him 13 for the night. A 5-point lead again.
Three not mandatory right here. If you get a deuce, right now Lou Henson will tell him if you get the quick deuce where they don't foul you, then you foul, hope they miss, and then the three-pointer to tie.
53 seconds to go from Ohio State where the Buckeyes lead Illinois. The story from Ohio State, 53 seconds to go in the game. Buckeyes, desperate for a win over Illinois, are up by 5.
All right, tell him, buddy, you and I have been fighting here during this timeout. I hit you with a left, you hit me with a right. Tell him why we're fighting.
Well, we're fighting because Buster Douglas already left. But actually, you and I are having a philosophical disagreement on whether Illinois ought to go for the 3 right now. I say yes, you say no.
Well, no, I say if it's within their offense, you shoot it. But take the quick 2. You still need 2 possessions. Don't force the 3 if it's not there. If it's there, you shoot it.
Kendall Gill for 3.
That was
short. Small got a piece of it. Jackson got rid of it to Carter. He's fouled.
Now that's not intentional. That's not intentional. That's not premeditated. That's not deliberate. That was a mugging.
Marcus Liberty gets his 4th with 42 seconds to go.
Mike, they designed that play, and it was an excellent play. I'd go for the 3 there when Gill took. What I'm saying is I see teams sometimes come down and panic and try to shoot the 3. If you get it in your offensive set, fine, but you still need 2 possessions.
Perry Carter, who has hit 8 out of 10 free throws tonight. That is the biggest one yet. It's a 6-point lead. Carter with 17 points after really being shut down in the first half.
They've really come on strong at the end of the year, Ohio State, and that certainly plays a role. They got wins over Michigan, over Louisville, over Indiana.
6-point lead. They need the 3s now. Kendall Gill. Carter with another rebound. He has just been dominant.
He's a Windex man. He's a dominator on the glass. Loves the glass.
13 rebounds for Perry Carter. Small fouls him, and Carter will go back to the line. What this free throw would mean is a 7-point lead and 3 Illinois possessions necessary to win the game.
Randy telling him to get some arc to his shot. He's coaching on that sideline. Randy was a heck of a player. I tried to recruit him. My recruiting wasn't too good, so we didn't get him.
Free throw is good. Carter's had a whale of a second half.
He's got some body. Look at the upper arms on him. Big and strong.
This would deny Illinois its 20th victory. Carter 1 out of 2 again, but it's a 7-point lead.
They just ought to go in the zone, play good zone defense, match up, and don't foul.
Bowman from way outside. Small offensive rebound. Got it, and Illinois will stop the clock with 18 seconds left.
You know, I'm sitting here shaking my head on that previous possession when they fouled in the middle of the floor and no intentional foul was called. I wonder about that rule. I really do. How it's going to be enforced, when it's going to be enforced.
I think what you'd like to see is consistency. Illinois is not going to take the full time. All they wanted to do was stop the clock and set up one defensive set.
They have that choice.
I like that. I don't like waiting for nothing.
I agree with you. The game's at the end become an eternity. Right now, they're going to 1-4 set. They'll have 2 guys break to the ball. Baker will try to break to the ball.
They threw it away.
Turnover.
Liberty for 3. Boy, what a break. That could have cut the lead to 2 points, and now we've got the intentional foul.
Eddie Valentine signals intentional. It's all over, Mike. They get a step closer to getting into the NCAA tournament, the Buckeyes.
And this is another big win with several big wins this year for Randy Ayers and Ohio State.
I'll tell you the one great thing. You talk to his young athletes, and they really like him as a guy, talking about Randy Ayers. They really, really enjoy playing for him. He's got great personality.
Bardo out of the game. Brown will go to the line to shoot the free throws, and then Ohio State will get the ball with 10 seconds to go.
Brown from out of Texas.
Ohio State will now be 11-2 at home, and they have won 6 of their last 8. These are all factors with their now 14-11 record that will be in their favor when it comes time for the selection committee to look at teams.
I know there are a lot of people out there saying, how could they possibly be in a running for an NCAA berth with a 14-11 record? But believe me when I tell you, and you look at those pairings, if they win 16, they're going to be in the big dance because of schedule strength.
They inbound it to Carter, and Small commits the foul with 8 seconds to go.
Hey, Mike, it's been great on Big Monday. What an unbelievable show.
It's
Great
been
bunch
fun,
of guys. Kenny Fouts, David Dinkins, Timmy Corrigan. What a creative guy. Does a super job. And all the guys, the technicians, beautiful people. They work. They make you and I look good.
And that's not an easy job either.
Well, no, for you, but for me, to make me look good, you got to be special.
They work hard under sometimes not the best of conditions as we travel all over the place. Gill for 3, it's short. Bowman rebound. And Dick, it's been my pleasure as always to work with you again on Big Mondays. We always seem to have great games. The final tonight, Ohio State 86, Illinois 80. The Buckeyes get their 14th win. They go to 14-11. For Dick Vitale and our entire ESPN crew, this is Mike Patrick. Thanks for watching. Let's go back to John Saunders.
Thanks a lot, Mike and Dick. A 6-point win for the Ohio State Buckeyes as they try and impress the committee. They go above 500 in the conference. They're now 8-7. Illinois drops to 9-7, 19-7 overall.